Here's the tail of the tape. Teixeira is 30. He's the champ. The challenger, Castano, is 31. Look at the height differential. Teixeira, almost 4 full inches taller, and the reach is almost 10 inches. Well, Castano's reach is almost half of that as Teixeira. Can the bigger, longer Teixeira impose his will from the outside, or can Castano get inside and beat the Brazilian down? 12 rounds, ladies and gentlemen, for the Super Welterweight Championship of the World.
That's exactly what Castano does. He tries to make opponents uncomfortable with aggression and pressure and really fast feet. He's a very athletic fighter. And he's also powerful in there.
Let's see how Castano handles it.
So you can see that Castano knows how to fight small. You know, he lures the taller opponents with dipping his head down and coming over the top.
You know, some bigger guys fight smaller. For instance, a man sitting in this arena who we've heard of many times, Oscar De La Hoya. When he fought Manny Pacquiao, he was much taller and longer, but he almost crouched down a little bit, and they looked almost the same size when they fought.
See, Castano knows how to, he's jumping in he's being explosive, he's jumping in, but he's doing it real athletically. He's leaving his feet. Normally, you don't want to leave your feet when you're jumping up like that, but he has no choice with the taller Teixeira. Castano's already enforcing his pressure, and it's forcing Teixeira to have to fight back and open up. And this is what Castano does so well. He puts on pressure and forces his opponents to open up and attack, which benefits the shorter, stockier, explosive fighter.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Sergio, but it seems like any time Teixeira tries to throw a body punch, he leaves that chin high and dry.
No, that's the problem with being that tall. You know, when you have that long of a reach advantage and you're that tall, it kind of looks awkward, and you're not as athletic. So everyone thinks that the taller fighter has the natural advantage. That's not the case. It's all about your footwork.
We've already seen one big upset today, even more of a difference in odds than this one. Mauricio Lara with Josh Warrington over in England today. Did anybody see that coming, Chris Mann?
No, that was right out of nowhere, basically. Lara, at one point, was a 12-1 underdog, and he came out and just physically dominated Josh Warrington. Didn't just stop him, put him on his back and put him out. What a huge win for Lara, and tough setback for Josh Warrington, who was hoping to make some noise at either 126 or 130.
And if you haven't seen that, make sure you watch it on demand here on Dazn. You can watch all of Matchroom's fight cards from the UK here on Dazn. Right now, Castano starting to land his punches. Nice left there from Teixeira.
You know, being undersized is just familiar territory for Castano. We were on a Zoom last night, and I asked him, like, have you ever fought anybody shorter than you? It took about 30 seconds. I thought of one guy. Everybody else has been taller.
It probably happened when he was 8 years old, too. Are we going with Argentinian, Chris, or the Argentine?
Dealer's choice.
See, Teixeira needs to move his head. If he's going to stand up like that, he's bound to get caught with something overhand and fast by Castano. He's too explosive.
The over-under on this fight, about 10.5 rounds, was basically a pick-em. From what you've seen so far, do you think this goes the distance, Sergio?
No, it doesn't look good for Teixeira right now. It looks like he's struggling with the pressure of Castano. This is what Castano does. He breaks down opponents with strength and pressure and explosiveness, punching from all angles.
Man, we're going to have to get to the 7th round before I wave the white flag on Patrick Teixeira. If you only watch the first 6 rounds of that fight against Adames, he was getting dominated. His face was a bloody mess. He dug down and knocked Adames down in that fight in the 7th, and that changed the course of the fight. He may have to do the exact same thing, land the kind of punch that puts Castano down to change the course of this one.
And listen, that's a great point, Chris, and I'm not putting it past Teixeira, because this is exactly, you're right, how he looked against Adames in that first half of the fight, and he turned it on in the second half.
We've seen fighters over the years that have to get hurt really before they light up. Evander Holyfield was world famous for that. Just when you thought he was done, he was just getting started. Nice right hand there for Teixeira. But Castano certainly applying all the pressure here in round 3. Seems to be getting more entertaining round by round. Who knows what it's going to look like by round 10 if we get that far.
Castano's not going to relent with his aggression. This is his style of fighting, so Teixeira's going to have to do something else. And this is what he did with Adames. You know, Teixeira had to fight him in the inside and land body shots and uppercuts, fight the smaller man's fight in order to get respect. He might have to do the exact same thing with Castano tonight. I like what Teixeira's attempting to do right here. He's trying to land a body shot from a smaller opponent right there. And see that right there? That's a good body shot by Teixeira. He's getting hit with 3 or 4 shots upstairs, but it's worth it by investing to the body down there. Because then it sets up that uppercut.
I'm really impressed with Castano so far. You know, he is just everything we've seen in some of his bigger fights. I thought he won the Arislandi Lara fight. We're seeing a lot of that type of pressure, those types of attacks.
Good left uppercut for Teixeira.
Teixeira landed 2 uppercuts on the inside. He's going to have to fight Castano on the inside just like he did with Adames. I'm telling you, this is not enough. The length, the size, the advantage of being so tall, it's not going to be enough for Teixeira. He's going to have to dig down deep and get the respect of Castano on the inside.
Remarkably, Castano has amateur victories over Errol Spence Jr. and Sergey Derevyanchenko. So this guy is for real. And that's why the Las Vegas bookies put him at about an 8-1 favorite despite being the challenger.
Anytime a fighter has almost 200 amateur fights, you know he's fought some of the best around the world.
Yeah, he was one of 6 siblings growing up in Argentina. His father was a boxer. His younger brother, Alan, became a pro fighter as well. Just over a minute to go here in round 6. It's been mostly the Argentinian as he's beaten up his Brazilian counterpart.
Castano doing a great job cutting off the ring.
Yeah, Teixeira looks like he has a leash on the rope and just keeps circling around the ring, stuck to the ropes.
And that's how you know a fighter's doing a great job cutting off the ring, smothering and suffocating the attack of the taller fighter. And right here, look, this is all Castano coming forward. He's not doing anything special. He's not loading up on shots. It's his feet that are carrying him.
As I'm scoring this fight, guys, it feels somewhat similar to what we saw in the last fight with Ronnie Rios and Oscar Negrete, where Negrete was throwing and landing some shots, but the more impactful punches are clearly being landed by Brian Castano.
Castano's always in position to punch really hard because he has a solid foundation. He's gliding on his feet and not falling off balance. Everything's crisp.
And we have reached the midway point of this world title fight. A good right hand just before the bell by Castano.
Castano's just picking up his hands out because he's lost respect for Teixeira's punches. He's just coming forward now, not minding the punches coming back. It feels like he's broken down Teixeira.
Yeah, Teixeira's got to get more active and more accurate with these shots. The knockdown of Adames in the 7th round of that last fight, that wasn't really a one-punch knockdown. That was an accumulation of hooks to the head that eventually put Adames down. We haven't seen that type of accumulation at this point when it comes to Castano.
Castano hasn't given him opportunities. He won't let him breathe. I mean, he's closing in the space. Anytime Teixeira, gets some distance behind that long reach, you see Castano break the distance with his feet coming in and getting the combinations flowing. Now, look at how he's blocking the shots and coming right back with short shots because Castano is. Teixeira backing up Castano now, but Castano catching and countering nicely. Anytime Teixeira lands something, Castano comes right back with a counter shot.
Catch and shoot. Teixeira with 22 KOs in his 31 wins, and that ratio looks pretty impressive, but many of those knockouts came earlier in his career against modest opposition in his home country of Brazil.
Yeah, and he hasn't had a knockout since the loss to Curtis Stevens. And he admitted to us this week he changed his style after that fight. Wasn't focused on going for knockouts, just trying to be more accurate with his punches.
Well, he might have to start going for knockouts here soon, if he's indeed, according to Chris's scorecard, lost 7 straight rounds. Good body shot. Castano really starting to land with thunder to the body. And he's got a lot of real estate to work. Nice counter right hand by Teixeira. Just when you think he's out, he comes back.
Teixeira is fighting really well in this round, and the last round he's fighting relaxed, coming forward now. He's not as tense.
Well, we have learned one thing about Teixeira. He is a tough customer. Showed that against Adamas, and he's doing it again here tonight. Continuously eating body punches, headshots.
Castano really is a sweet boxer puncher to watch because he has the power to knock you out, but he also has the speed and the agility to stay on his toes and just pot shot you from the outside, the inside.
How would he do against Charlo, Chris, from what you've seen so far? How much of a chance do you give him to win that fight?
I think it'd be an excellent fight. I think Jermell Charlo has established himself as the top guy in the 154-pound division, not just because of those 3 titles, but because he's fought the best competition. But Castano is the real deal. It'll be a great fight.
Yeah, right hand, the right hand to the body just bent down, bent Teixeira in half right there.
Oh, big right hand, and that buckled Teixeira for a minute. But he stands up again and comes back. Teixeira as tough as you'd like. How much longer can he take this punishment?
Castano not forgetting about the body. He landed a big overhand right, landed right on the money with Teixeira, not forgetting about the body again. Castano not giving no time to breathe, no time to escape. Stays on him, cutting off the ring. I mean, that's just mentally draining if you're Teixeira.
He is just in excellent shape, excellent technically, throwing big shots. I mean, he is the real deal at 154.
What a nice right hand counter there for Castano as we wind down the end of the 11th round. He is not letting up. Good uppercut.
That was a vicious body shot.
Oh, and that left hand really caught Teixeira clean as he backed up against the ropes. A minute 15, Teixeira still can't escape the pressure.
That's the left hook. It's the left hook I was talking about early in the fight. He's been looking for that throughout the course of this, and now
Teixeira turning around in his back. Castano's corner, urging him on. They want the finish.
If Castano lets his hands go, he'll get the stoppage.
Jack Reed's taking a close look, but he knows he's experienced enough not to stop this fight unless absolutely necessary.
Teixeira continues to turn his back, but there is nowhere to go. You cannot escape Castano's pressure.
It was the body shot, Todd. I'm telling you, the body shot that really hurt Teixeira, and that's what started the overhand rights and left from Castano. If I were Castano, I'll go right back down with that left hand to the body. Just like that, double it up.
But again, Teixeira showing you how much heart he has got, refusing to cave.
No doubt about it, Teixeira's tough as a maker, tough as nails, but right now, Castano's just pulverizing Teixeira.
10 seconds left. We are about to crown a new king, a new WBO junior middleweight champion, and his name is Brian Castano.
Beautiful, guys. Way to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards, and here are the totals. Dr. Lou Moret has it 120-108. Robert Hoyle, 119-109. And Zach Young, 117-111. All for your winner by unanimous decision. And new WBO Junior Middleweight Champion of the World, Brian Castano!
Cierre, nene.